Over here, sir. Yeah.
Do you have any regrets about the TV series at all? Or
Do I have any regrets about the TV series?
would you do it all over again if you had offers?
If I could do it, well, that's just it. I mean, when you're a writer, I'm just the writer of the book. I don't matter anything in Hollywood. The TV series, really, I figure that one came in top 2% in terms of writer fun experience with Hollywood. You know, I figure that's in the top couple of percentiles. It could come out a whole lot worse than it did. You guys didn't see like the second treatment that it was getting when they were planning it. And that was the one where his name got changed to Eric and other things. I mean, and it was, I was looking at that just going. I mean, it turned out almost as well as I could have expected it for anybody that wasn't going to dump a whole huge budget onto making it. So it could have been worse. That's my view on the whole thing. Could have been worse. Let's see, right back here, blue shirt.
In the books, you have a lot of pretty technical knowledge, forensics, police procedures. How much research do you do on these? Do you read books or?
For forensics, police procedures, yeah, I do. Well, you know, then I go out and kill people and photograph the scene. You know, just so I can make sure I'm doing it just like real police would. Actually, a lot of my stuff comes from, originally came from a series of books called the How Done It series that was produced by Writer's Digest. And it's just a number of books that do police procedure. And you get to learn all about police procedure. You know, how to find people who are missing, that sort of thing. So that's where my initial stuff came from. And after that, I just kind of talk to cops and forensics folks once in a while, who I will meet. And I'll grab it from there. But, yeah.
Yes, I was wondering if you intended to do anything more with the Alara series along the lines of a graphic novel, or...
Do I intend to do anything more with the Alara series, i.e. like a graphic novel or something like that? That's one of those things that you kind of, I mean, unless you want to go out and actively sell it, that's one of those things that you really don't get to pick whether or not you get to do it. If somebody comes to me and says, I would like to do an Alara movie, I'll be like, okay. It's kind of how it works. I would be happy to see something else happen with it. It would really be a great cartoon. If they made a movie out of it now, it would probably wind up looking a lot like Last Airbender is going to look. Because I mean that's looking quite cool. I mean, okay, we're going to have some action and some cool special effects with the elements. All right, way to go, M. Night. But don't try and put any red doorknobs in this one. You know, give us a solid movie. Right back there.
Who's going to be in this one then?
Where did I get the idea for an undead T-Rex? When I was watching and I found out that they actually have the bones of Sue, I mean the actual real bones, or the fossils of them, are actually there in Chicago. They're not the ones that are hanging up, but you know, for the purposes of having fun, I decided they were. I saw a show on History Channel about digging up Sue, when they found her and so on, and why and how she ended up there and why. And then when they were doing the zombie thing, I had established, I was writing down the rules, you know, of what was going to happen when we had the necromancers running around. It's like, okay, the older the corpses are, you know, the more power you can put in them, and you don't use animals, you use people because they can hold more magical energy, you know, proportionally, like infinitely more. And then I thought, but you know, on the other hand, you know, sure, maybe the human corpses are, you know, you get 10 points per year in the human corpse and only 1 point per year in the animal corpse, but 65 million years. You get yourself a pretty good zombie out of that. And once I figured out that, it's like, okay, and then there's and there's no way I'm letting the bad guy have it either. That's gonna be...
So when does Big Al show?
When is what?
Big Al.
Big Al.
Walking with dinosaurs.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm not a Walking with Dinosaurs person. I'm not certain. But right here in green.
Are you going back to the naming scheme, or has that been tossed out the window?
Am I going back to the naming scheme, or has it been tossed out the window? I wanted to toss it out the window. I wanted to call the next book Dead. But they said, we can't do that. And I said, why not? It's a great name. It's like, no, you can't do that. It sounds like the name of a graphic novel or something. It's like, that's the best objection you can come up with? So I said, okay, how about we call it Ghost Story? And they said, fine. So right now it's Ghost Story. And we'll have to see how that turns out.
Yes?
Why Japanese? on his staff?
You'll have to ask Chris. There's Japanese haiku on Harry, or not haiku, but kanji on Harry's staff, which spells out matrix, apparently. What I suspect was that at the time, Chris, who was I think 21 or 22, had a Japanese girlfriend and liked watching The Matrix. That's my guess. I've got no idea if that's true or not, but we can ask Kristen and find out.
Guy back.
Guys, don't look down, guy with your hand up. Don't.
Yeah, he puts in the.
How much do I have to pay to get part of your Netflix queue? So I have that sense of mind, I know what you're watching. It always ends up being.
Oh, how much you have to pay to get my next Netflix queue? Really, it's not really hard to find out what I'm watching. If you, I mean, I've got Dish Network, and I just got the TV or the movie channels, you know, the whole spread of them, and basically find just like the dopiest science fiction movie that's on, and that's what I'm watching. You know, so.
So sci-fi channel.
Yeah.
No, movies. Not the Sci-Fi Channel. The Syphilis Channel. S-Y-F-Y?
Russian for syphilis.
Because that's what the fans want.
Syphilis?
That and more wrestling. Back here, the blonde hair and glasses.
What do you, now that you have an army of flying monkeys, what do you want us to do?
Oh, you're an army of flying monkeys? Really? Because nobody's been throwing any projectiles at me at all. And I'm somewhat disappointed, I think. No, for you guys, listen, your job is to, okay, I'll go all Miyagi on you here. Okay, we make deal. My part, write book. That's what I do. Your part, read book and have fun. That's what you do. That's it. Read the books, have a good time. It's sort of the point. Right here.
Who are your favorite authors?
Who are my favorite authors? Okay, this will be a list that is not exhaustive because I always wind up forgetting somebody. And I usually only think the people whoever I've read most recently. I just read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I thought that was extremely fun. So now I've got another guy I gotta read all his books.
I love his evil.
I liked him because I thought his style was so much like Lois Bujold's, who is professionally speaking, I want to have her babies. I really like the Jill Kismet books by Lily. Because they're good. Yeah, she's tough. I like her. Let me think. Robert, the late and much lamented Robert B. Parker. I love his work. Let me think. I go back and read the Bulgariad at least once a year, and I pretend that Mr. Eddings never wrote anything else. I really like it. I also, every couple of years, I try and go back and read the Priding Chronicles by Lloyd Alexander. Yeah, it's surprising. I mean, how good those books are still, even though I'm a grown-up now. But there's some of them. There's more.
There's 5. That sequence has 5 books.
Yeah. But there's other authors. I'm not thinking of them right now, but there's a few. I'm sorry. Was there a follow-up there? Or? Over here.
Okay, so when you're about the author, actually, on every single one of your books, you say you have your resume is full of skills that obsolete at least 200 years ago. What are some of those?
Okay, my resume of obsolete skills?
Yes.
Okay. I know how to do trick and stunt riding on horseback, including stuff like hanging off the horse and using it for a shield, and doing vaults so that you can get from one side of the horse to the other so that you can shield yourself on the horse, from multiple guys while you ride through them. I can also ride a horse at a full gallop standing up in the saddle. And none of those are skills which really I've ever really had any cause to put on a resume. I'm fairly good. At one point, I was fairly good at archery. At one point, I could put an arrow in a 1-inch bullseye at 60 yards and do it 10 or 12 times and do it 10 or 12 times in 45 seconds. Yeah, I really had too much time on my hands.
Come sit over in my yard.
No, didn't learn that. No underwater basket weaving.